Hello guys, hello my kittens. Hopefully you're well. So let's see what we have here for tomorrow. We have the Temperance, what they call it, the other side, because you know this deck has two sides, right? Then we have Six of Cups, and then we have Two of Swords. So what is going on here? There are like two things that are really jumping at me. One, that the angel turned the back to us, right? So also we have a lion and we have, I guess that would be an eagle here, which we do not see them over here. We see almost like idyllic, basically scene over here, right? So that's literally behind the scenes. Here it says Hercules, right? Six of Cups. And here we have a blindfolded woman who has this like almost gold, almost like bionic woman over here. So what is going on here? First of all, we are seeing gallows over here. So gallows belong in this particular deck, exactly the same gallows, belong to the hanged man. And so basically that's when we have the men suspended in here, not the gallows of death though, but just like somebody who is trying to open their eyes, right? So it's not the rope around your neck, or it's simply kind of like voluntary surrender in this particular case. It's the attitude of grace. In this case, he has two extremely strong but also vicious animals over here, right? So from this viewpoint, as we are looking toward the gallows, the angel stands between basically us, we are here, and the gallows over here. And it looks like everything here is preventing us to go there. So if you guys think, that I have a feeling that many of you listening to this have been encouraged by some kind of like act of kindness, and that you have almost congratulated yourself for going in that direction. But be aware, this the eagle, the lion, and the angel all seem to be cautioning you or preventing you from undertaking that act of sacrifice, right? This right now, it's not the time to surrender. So this is about surrendering ego when we see gallows, and the ego is surrendered. Okay, never mind my opinion. I do know better, but never mind. Let's go for the kind of like bigger cause. Let's go for the bigger thing. This is not the time. And this is clearly connecting with something that has been going, something from the past, something that you are kind of like debating. Like one side of you says yes, another one says no, right? Because if you really think, what is the Six of Cups? It's the card of childhood and nostalgia. It's happiness, but it's sort of like a naive happiness. You get a cookie and you're super happy, right, about it, right? There is like nothing wrong with looking back, and the good times that we had before are really great to maybe inspire us, right? Especially when things are not going well, right? So in the Six of Cups, we can also see a return to a familiar environment or childhood place, or we can have people from the past contacting us, right? So there's like something about hometown or high school sweetheart or childhood friends and family, right? Or not, just younger people that also kind of like gets to me there, right? So Six of Cups also can point out to our inner child, and it does suggest that we really need to feel like that childlike innocence and freedom, and that is very, very important, right? Maybe we feel old, maybe feel dissatisfied with living. Maybe we need to feel this innocence, like maybe we just need to go way more basic than I have been done, right? So how do you get there? This is really interesting, because to get into this, you really have to feel innocence. You really have to feel that everything is new, everything is fresh. So spoon that you use for stirring the coffee, just admire how it is made. Admire the workmanship, admire kind of like in which direction it's going, and admire how ingenious it was to invent that, right? This is telling me that there is like indecision. You want something but you don't want. It's go, stop and go, stop and go, and stop and go over here, right? It is kind of like the card of choice, right? So it's something about your consciousness, right? And you're kind of like thinking about dealing directly with the situation. And again, this is warning you, stop it, not now. This is warning you, stop it, not now, especially if this situation is from the past. In this particular deck, the swords are in perfect balance, right? They cross in front of the woman. So this card reflects the need for greater balance, right? Especially when it comes to your thoughts and to your intellectual life. You need to kind of like take a break of how you usually process things, right? And try to think of all the alternative possibilities, right? You need to be very diplomatic and kind of like figure out, okay, this is pro, this is con, and just make sure that you cannot let things go and they cannot continue being as they are. This can represent that stalemate, right? Where there is no winner, there is no loser, right? It's almost like that you are batting horns with another person and failing to see each other points of view, which is really important, right? So I don't know, like maybe there is like an impasse in respect to an important matter. Like you just cannot do it. Like, yeah, I want to be with you, but I don't want to move there. Oh yeah, I want to be with you, but my kids come first. So it could be one of those things that you're asking another person to compromise and they just cannot do that, or they don't want to do it, right? So you kind of like really need to think through over here, because spiritually you are facing some really important decisions tomorrow. And there is like something about the path you're going to take. So it is thinking about the possibilities, it's thinking about the past. So this is like very much processing it in your head, while this is kind of processing in your heart. So you can see how something is like really triggering you and vibrating with you, where something else is telling you go. So it's almost like when your parents will say, "Oh, this is a really good boyfriend. Why don't you want to date him?" Well, mom, he stinks, kind of a thing, right? You have a really good reason, but you're trying to convince yourself that you're the one who is wrong. No, listen to yourself. Enjoy it. I love you guys. We'll talk tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget our weekly live Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All the best.